With Father's Day just around the corner, I thought it would be the perfect time to talk about something that often gets lost in the rush of gift buying and restaurant bookings. And that is creating meaningful memories with the fathers and father figures in our lives. Because often the moments we remember most are not the expensive gifts. They're the conversations, the shared experiences, and the feeling of being fully present. Welcome to Suitcase and Chardonnay, the podcast where style meets storytelling and where we blissfully blend travel, fashion, food, wine, and intentional living. I'm Renate Engelbrecht, your host, and this is a space where you can find inspirational lifestyle tips, explore beautiful local and international destinations, and share slow, luxury moments and the little details that make life feel richer. In this second season, we are leaning even deeper into life's unique experiences. From boutique hotels and family weekend escapes, to thoughtful food and fashion, soulful conversations about wine, creativity, and conservation, and the art of slowing down without losing your sense of adventure. Whether you're listening on a morning walk, planning your next getaway, or simply craving a moment of inspiration, you're in exactly the right place. If you love lifestyle podcasts that celebrate travel, fashion, food, and wine, go ahead and follow or subscribe so you'll never miss an episode. And if something resonates, save it, share it, and let it travel further than we ever could alone. Now, if you're ready, let's go. Modern life is busy. We can say what we want, but trying to live a slower life and having a slower pace is not always as easy as one would think. And I think it is very important for us to bring ourselves back to the things that are important. And Father's Day is actually one of those days where we can do just that if we are intentional about it. So I would like to encourage you in this episode to think differently about Father's Day this year and to, consider how you would celebrate Father's Day without buying too much and doing too much, and rather spending true quality time with your father or the father figure in your life and with the rest of the family. Because ultimately, for me, it is important for us to spend quality time together as families and to show the fathers in our lives what they mean to us and how they help shape the stories in our lives. Many fathers spend most of their days providing for us, for their families, whether they, you know, are at work providing in that way, or whether they are stay-at-home dads looking after the children while mom is at work. Either way, they mean a lot to us, and we need to celebrate them this Father's Day, but in a very intentional and clever way. In today's world, quality time has become the greatest luxury, and I thought this episode might be the ideal opportunity for us to discuss some tips and ideas on how to celebrate Father's Day through quality time as a family. The true essence of slow living is being present in the moment and giving someone your full attention. Father's Day offers us the opportunity to do exactly that. Ultimately, time is the one gift we can never buy more of. If you have a dad who enjoys travel and exploring, one of the things I would suggest doing this Father's Day is to go out and explore. But you don't have to go far. You don't need a passport to celebrate travel and to celebrate dad. In fact, you can just, explore places around the corner from home. It doesn't have to be far and it doesn't have to be expensive. Why not take a scenic drive with dad? Explore a nearby small town, visit a farm stall or a market that's close by, or even discover a local heritage site. On a recent visit to the Claremont Boutique Hotel in Cape Town, I was offered the opportunity to explore some of the coastal towns around the Cape Peninsula, and that was quite spectacular. And I thought that would be a great way to celebrate Father's Day. Kalk Bay, for one, was quite spectacular in itself, with lots of quirky little shops and boutiques and things in the main street. We actually stopped at the closest coffee shop and got ourselves some takeaway coffees, and we strolled along the main street, popping in at all the different shops and seeing what they've got. And what was really nice about Kalk Bay is that there weren't many franchises, so it's all local shops, which made it so much more unique and special. And then we strolled down to the harbor, where you can actually buy fish from the fishing boats that just came in. So we walked down the pier and saw what they caught for the day, and you can actually then buy fish and fresh produce from there, which you can take home and prepare your own Father's Day meal. I mean, imagine that. So that's one way in which you can celebrate Father's Day that wouldn't cost you too much. And, obviously, a day like that would also come with a lot of different memories that you can bank. um, we also went to Simonstown. If you are a family that uh, you know, enjoys going out for some kayaking or something like that, Simonstown might be a good fit. We actually went down to Foxy Beach, where we hired some kayaks and we kayaked out into sea, and it was amazing. It was really spectacular, and we even saw a couple of African penguins. So if you're lucky, you might actually even get to see that. Once again, memories as a family together, and something that your dad will remember for years to come. So those were two of the towns. Noordhoek is another, one of the villages along that route, which is also quite spectacular and definitely worth exploring if you are a family that enjoys, you know, visiting these small little towns in and around Cape Town. And obviously, around the whole of South Africa, you'll find little towns like these, and wherever you live, just exploring your own city is also quite fun. So make a point of it, and go for a scenic drive wherever you are. Of course, you can also make it a little more exciting and get up very early in the morning on Father's Day and head out on a sunrise drive with your dad. Pack a flask of coffee and some freshly baked croissants or rusks or whatever he enjoys most, and go somewhere where you can watch the sunrise together as a family. Or explore nature reserves in your area. There are so many parks and hiking trails and reserves in South Africa. I mean, I can't even start to name them all, but there are, yeah, so many ways in which you can actually explore these reserves as well. You can have a picnic, you can go for a hike, or just a slow stroll. If you're a really active family, you can even go for a nice trail run. All depends on what your dad would enjoy on Father's Day. I recently visited the Kirstenbosch National Botanical Garden, which was quite spectacular and somewhere you can spend a full day. So if you want to really, be out in nature with dad on Father's Day, I can highly recommend Kirstenbosch. Of course, there are some nice trails that go up into Table Mountain National Park from there. So there's always that option as well. But I mean, just strolling along between all the yellowwood trees and enormous cycads and the beautiful fynbos, listening to the sunbirds, it was just spectacular. So, yeah, definitely a great family day outing. Uh, Another option is also Cape Point. If you are in Cape Town and the surrounds, it's a lovely place to explore and to really get a feel for the southernmost tip of Africa. It's quite something. And we actually had the opportunity to go there with Escape and Explore. And that was very unique because they actually take you to certain spots that you might have missed, which is exactly what, slow travel is about for me. So if you ever want to book a day trip like that, Escape and Explore is a definite suggestion from my side. Of course, you can also visit meaningful places, places that meant something for your dad over the years. Um, Perhaps look into where he grew up and revisit places around that area if it's something that he would enjoy. Another option is to also visit the place where he met your mom, if it's something that your family, would cherish, or maybe even book a weekend away at a holiday destination that your family visited many, many years ago. I mean, just imagine the stories and the memories that would come up from that. And yeah, I mean, if I only think about the road trips that my family and I took, a couple of years ago, well, I'm saying a couple of years ago, but probably 20 years ago, um, thinking back, that time we still had CDs, and I remember all the different songs and those specific road trip CDs that we would listen and sing along to, and the favorite pad stall that we stopped at, and the snacks we had in the car, and yeah, I think going down that memory lane is something quite special and perfect for Father's Day, if you ask me.
Suitcase and Chardonnay is a space for curious minds, romantic souls, travelers, foodies, wine lovers, and curators of a beautifully lived life. If this episode resonated with you, you'll find even more depth, visuals, and storytelling on the blog, where each conversation continues beyond the microphone. Explore it all at suitcaseandchardonnay.co.za and join the community by following along on social media.
Another option for Father's Day is, of course, to make breakfast together as a family. So instead of buying really expensive gifts, why not just spend time together in the kitchen and make a big family breakfast, set a beautiful table, and just enjoy a slow, unrushed morning of quality time. Of course, you can also look into what your dad's favorite food or favorite dish is and make that for Father's Day. Maybe there's a special family recipe that's been handed down from generation to generation that he would enjoy having on Father's Day. Make that part of a meal on Father's Day, and yeah, just make him feel special through that. Culinary experiences tend to have a very big effect on the emotions, and I think Father's Day is the perfect day to spur up those emotions and create memories around it again, and perhaps even get stories from it. You never know what your dad would feel like telling you about, as he tastes the familiar flavors of that dish. So yeah, just make him feel special through acts of kindness and special memories. Another clever way of making dad feel special on Father's Day is by creating a family memory book. Ask everyone what their favorite memories of dad are and what lessons they've learned from him, life lessons perhaps, and even what things they admire about him, and write all of those things down in a beautiful book, something that he would keep for years to come. Our family has a tradition where we have a Friday night movie evening, and we would make our own pizzas together as a family in the kitchen. Well, that's the ideal Friday night, to be honest. Sometimes dad is a bit late from work because he works in Joburg and the traffic might be bad, but still, when we have the opportunity, I mean, Friday nights are movie nights and that's it. But when we can, we make our own pizzas together as a family, and we would make a big Christmas bed and, watch a movie together with pizza and wine and, yeah, just, be together as a family. And I think that is something that could also work for Father's Day. Have a lovely movie night with dad's favorite movie and a big bowl of popcorn and make a huge Christmas bed, pull out all the blankets and all the pillows and get cozy and be together as a family this Father's Day. Another way to make dad feel special is to gather the family in the garden and make a big bonfire. Um, and braise some marshmallows, enjoy some wine and coffee or hot chocolate, and yeah, tell stories around the fire. I love being outdoors even in wintertime with a big fire and starry nights. Storytelling around the fire is perfect for Father's Day, so why not try that this year? If you're looking for some ideas for Father's Day that wouldn't cost a lot, or actually wouldn't cost much at all, why not go for a phone-free stroll with your dad, even just in your neighborhood? It's interesting, World Sauntering Day is just around the corner, and I've just actually published a blog post about that specifically. So if you're looking for some ideas around that topic, head on to suitcaseandchardonnay.co.za for more. But yes, a slow stroll with dad is a great way to celebrate your dad and Father's Day. Um, yeah, I mean, just think about the conversations you can have while strolling along. And I think it's, without those distractions of a phone and everything, I think it's a great way and a great gift for Father's Day. Another thing you can do is to actually do a memory treasure hunt. Let the kids create clues based around family memories. Wouldn't that be fun? Or you can get each family member to write dad a handwritten letter. I mean, in today's world where AI and technology has taken over and it really overshadows things like thoughtful handwritten notes, I think that is something quite special to gift dad with this Father's Day. If you are someone who, likes diving deep into family heritage or memories or, things like that, and someone who also wants to treasure, family memories, perhaps interviewing dad this Father's Day might be a good idea. Record things like life lessons, childhood stories, career moments, and family history. You might even discover stories that you've never heard before. You can also ask dad what he is most proud of, for example, or what life lessons he hopes future generations will remember. Perhaps also ask him what advice he would give his younger self and what family traditions he would want your family to continue with. In the end, Father's Day doesn't only have to be about celebrating fathers. Don't get me wrong, we need to celebrate dad this Father's Day. But Father's Day can also be about preserving family stories. If you really want to give dad something tangible this Father's Day, why not create a Father's Day slow living basket? Affordable ideas for this basket could be something like his favorite coffee, a craft beer, or a beautiful bottle of wine. Perhaps some homemade rusks, his favorite print magazine, a handwritten note, and a beautifully framed family photograph. It's all about the thoughtfulness behind it and not how much it cost. I'd like to really encourage you to consider doing this Father's Day a bit differently and being innovative and slowing down. Put away those phones, listen more carefully, share meals together, take drives with no particular destinations in mind. Ask questions that you've never asked before. And most importantly, remember to remind the father and father figures in your life that they have a presence that really shapes our stories. I'd love to hear how you are celebrating Father's Day this year. Are you going on a slow travel adventure? Are you going on a sunrise, hike or drive? um, are you packing a beautiful, thoughtful, slow living Father's Day gift pack? What are you doing this Father's Day? I'd love for you to connect with me on social media via Suitcase and Chardonnay. And let's continue this conversation and see which other ideas we can come up with to celebrate Father's Day the intentional way.
Thank you so much for spending some time with me on Suitcase and Chardonnay. If you enjoyed this episode, I'd love for you to follow the podcast or subscribe on your favorite platform. It truly helps the show grow and helps others to discover it too. You can find more stories, travel tips and reviews, style inspiration and curated recommendations over on the blog at Suitcase and Chardonnay, where each episode often lives on in written form, with links, visuals and deeper details. For daily fashion inspo, behind-the-scenes moments and slow living storytelling, come and say hi on Instagram, Facebook or Pinterest. Just search for Suitcase and Chardonnay. And if this episode sparked something for you, don't forget to save it or share it with someone who loves travel, fashion, food and wine as much as you do. Until next time, keep chasing beauty, spotting the little things, traveling with intention and finding joy in everyday things.